Well, annual rite of spring, right? Jamie Dixon lost. Pitt lost. Pitt doesn't look good. Season probably ended or essentially ended, even if they'll play in some off-brand postseason tournament. But it's over, so here we are again, and Jamie Dixon must be fired, according to the screaming masses with their pitchforks. And I understand that. It's common to want the best success for your program, and when you don't get it, heads must roll. But I think if we could be serious about it just for a second and talk about the Jamie Dixon question, about whether you make a move from Jamie Dixon, or if it's time to make a move from Jamie Dixon, or if you just need to move on at this point to help the Pitt program moving forward, I think you have to consider 3 points. Because I thought about this a lot in the aftermath of the loss to NC State in the ACC tournament. And I thought about it a lot throughout the course of the season. There's 3 things you got to think about when you talk about Jamie Dixon. This is what we talk about when we talk about Jamie Dixon. You got to talk about the body of work. You got to talk about this current state of the program. And you have to talk about the potential to improve if you make a change. So you start with the body of work for Jamie Dixon. And I think even the hatiest of haters would probably tell you that the body of work is pretty strong. 1 Big East tournament championship, 2 Big East regular season titles, 10 NCAA tournament appearances in 11 years, 2 number 1 seeds, 3 Sweet 16s, 1 Elite 8. In the country, in the entire nation over the last 13 years, 5 programs have made the NCAA tournament all 13 times. And then there are 2 that have only missed it once in the last 13 years. Pitt's one of those 2. So really, Pitt is one of the 7 most consistent programs in the nation over the last 13 years, and Jamie Dixon's been at the helm for 11 of those 13. Now, this isn't to say that Jamie Dixon's above criticism, and this is where the current state of the program comes in, because let's be honest, the current state of the program isn't exactly a bullet point he wants to put on his resume. Missed the NCAA tournament 2 years ago, likely to miss the tournament this year. And a lot of the issues for Jamie Dixon this year, a lot of the things that are keeping Pitt out of the NCAA tournament this year are personnel related. And as his detractors are often quick to point out, he put this roster together. Even if things, happen that were out of his control, like the 2010 and 2011 recruiting classes falling apart, it's still on him. I'm still a believer in accountability. If you're the head man, it falls on you. Everything that happens under you is your responsibility. And there are certainly things that Jamie Dixon needs to do better. He needs to adjust better to the strengths of his teams. And he could definitely use a personnel upgrade. He needs to recruit better at a few spots. But if I'm Pitt, I'm looking at Jamie Dixon's track record and the possibility of him getting back to that level. And right now, there's no way I'm firing him. Not right now, and maybe not after another season like this, because if you're Pitt, here's what you want in a basketball coach. You want someone who consistently gets you to the NCAA tournament and gives you a chance. Yes, they're going to miss the tournament this year, but 10 out of 12 years is a pretty strong run. All that success he has had over the last 12 years is a pretty strong run. Dixon has been the model of consistency, with basically 2 exceptions in 12 years. Now, if you're a blue blood, if you're Kentucky or Duke or Carolina, yes, it's Final Four or bust every year. No question. But guess what? Pitt's not one of those blue bloods. And that's not an insult, it's just reality. And guess what else? Pitt's also not the Steelers, where a run of dominance 40 years ago makes you think that it should happen every year. And Pitt's not the Penguins either. News for you on that. They're not the Penguins, where playing a 7-game series with the best players in the world means you probably should win a championship every year. This is college hoops, where the definitions of success are just a bit different. If you're a program like Pitt, your goal has to be to get to the postseason consistently. That's what Jamie Dixon has done. He's gotten there consistently. And if you can get there consistently, you're giving yourself a chance to break through. That's what Jamie Dixon has given Pitt on a far more consistent basis and for a far longer period of time than anyone who came before him at Pitt. He's got the track record. The current state of the program, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, about what this roster is and where it can be in the future and if he can get it trending back up. And you look at that third area, the potential to improve. If you move on from Jamie Dixon, are you going to get better? I think you have to weigh 2 possibilities here if you're Pitt. What's more likely? Getting someone who will improve on what Dixon has done, or getting Dixon back, or Dixon getting back to and above the levels he has previously reached? I'm still siding with Dixon because he's done it before. And I have every reason to think that he'll do it again. At least I'll give him another year or 2 to figure that out. This is the PantherLair Show here on TribLIVE Radio. I'm Chris Peak, publisher of PantherLair.com, and it's a hot topic. It's what everyone's talking about is Jamie Dixon's future, and whether Jamie Dixon should still be at Pitt and what Pitt should do with Jamie Dixon. Because, look, this season ended pretty miserably.